folks, thanks for being here. Welcome back. My name is Phil. This is the Cruising with Phil channel. And on this video, we are going to take apart the CC Rider gel touring seat for Harley Softails. Now, there's a bit of background I got to give here about this particular seat and what's going on here, if you haven't been following and seen my previous videos. So seats have always been a challenge for me. I got the Harley Softail standard a month or two ago, and of course the Harley stock seat is very thin and miserable to ride on for much more than half hour, 45 minutes really. So I got this CC Rider seat at a discount from CC Rider so that I could do a review on it, which I did. I did that recently. Haven't been thoroughly thrilled with it. It's very, very firm. It does work okay for long rides, but it just stays firm and somewhat uncomfortable for a longer period of time. So by that I mean that, like any other seat I've been on, it starts to get increasingly uncomfortable as you go along. This CC Rider seat gets to a certain level of discomfort and stops, but it stays there at that level of discomfort the whole way through the ride. That's okay. It's not a really terrible level of discomfort, but it's not great either. So what I ended up doing previously is I took the stock seat from the Harley Softail and I took it apart and I put a gel pad in it, took out probably 80% of the foam on the horizontal part of the seat and put a gel pad on it, and it really helped a lot. Now there's still some level of discomfort there, but it did help a lot. So my original thought was to stick with that seat. Now I've got another challenge that goes along with that. That seat's very low. Because of the mid-mount foot controls on the Harley Softail standard, it makes my legs feel kind of cramped, even at my short height of 5'6", 7", whatever I am. I went on about a 2-hour ride with that seat, and by the end of it, my hips were getting sore due to actually my knees being higher than my hips. So that's a bit of an issue. So I started saying to myself, okay, well here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a backrest, because that seat also has a kind of an angled back on it. And when I hit the throttle and it kind of throws me back on the seat a little bit, there's nothing there to stop me. It's not that I'm going to slide off the seat. It's just, my back is kind of getting uncomfortable after a little bit as well. So I'm like, well, I'll just buy a backrest. They have them on Amazon. Harley doesn't have them for this, doesn't have a driver backrest for the Softail standard, but there are third-party ones out there. So I said, well, I'll try one from Amazon, and I'll get the forward control kit on the bike, and maybe that'll do it. I haven't bought those yet because I wanted to find out what have other people experienced specifically with the forward control kit on the foot controls. So I watched a couple other videos of people who have put forward controls on the Street Bob Softail standard, basically the same bike as far as the structure of the bike goes. And I have some concerns on that. One said that the pegs scrape just a little bit easier. You get slightly less lean angle with the forward controls. That's a concern for me in and of itself. Others said that the mid mounts are good for riding around town. The forward controls are good for distance riding, but the forward controls aren't as great for riding around town. I'm not sure what to do now because I don't want to lower my lean angle on this bike. It's already a little bit lower than I really want, but I had to sacrifice something when looking for a bike, so I sacrificed a little bit of lean angle. And so I really don't want to sacrifice any more. I also don't want something that's going to be uncomfortable for just bumming around town. That was the reason I got rid of the heavy touring bike and went with the Softail, was so that I have something that's comfortable for riding around town. And definitely I would agree that the mid-mount controls are good for that. That kind of leaves me in a quandary of, okay, This bike with the stock seat being so low isn't going to be good for doing long touring rides without putting on the forward controls. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Do I put on the forward controls, sacrifice a little bit more lean angle, and maybe not be quite as comfortable with bumming around town in traffic lights and that kind of thing? Or do I keep the mid-mount controls on, but then what do I do as far as the seat? So that led me to say, well, this seat raises you up an inch or two from the stock seat, and I found that riding this seat with the mid-mount controls really isn't that bad as far as discomfort goes on my hips, knees, whatnot. And I wouldn't want the forward controls with this seat because it would stretch out my legs too far. So then my next thought is, I also don't need a backrest with this seat because of the step-up design. Do I look at seeing if I can do something with this seat to make it more comfortable and just use this seat with the mid-mount controls? That is kind of what I'm trying to decide which way to go here. Stick with the stock seat with the gel pad in it and get forward controls and a backrest, or stick with the CC Rider seat, see if I can make it more comfortable and stay with the mid-mount controls. I'm not sure which way I'm going to end up, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to take apart this seat and we're going to see what's so special about this. CC Rider says they've got their proprietary gel system in this seat. When I sit on the seat, it feels like I'm sitting on a wooden bench. So it's not gel in the sense of being cushy to sit on. There's gel in the sense of support and giving you the right level of support for longer rides, but it's not that comfortable to sit on. So I'm going to take the seat apart. I'm going to see how it's designed on the inside and see if I want to tweak it at all, see if I want to take out if there's like some harder foam, take some of that out, put a gel pad in. I haven't decided yet because I don't know what's in there yet. We're going to take it apart. We're going to find out what it is. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and pardon the mess in here with this video, I'm actually in my office slash music room slash storage room slash everything room. So I'll probably end up not doing a whole lot of video here, mostly doing pictures. First thing I need to do is take this little bracket off because there's going to be staples underneath there. Let's get this loosened up and taken off first. This isn't really not on all that tight. Anyway, so we're going to do that. And then do the same thing that we did with the stock seat. We're going to take a sharp knife, get underneath the staples, kind of pry one up a little bit on one side, hopefully without digging the leather too much. Pull one side out, take the needle nose, get that under there and just kind of roll the other side out like that. We're going to go around and do that to get the cover off. Okay, got all the staples out. A little bit more of a pain than I was expecting. I discovered that using this little guy, so this is one of those small screwdrivers, whatever, pocket screwdrivers things, and it's got like your 3-inch blade or whatever. It's about an 1/8 inch wide, but as I've used it over the years, it kind of shoved into the handle, so it's now got like maybe 1/2 inch sticking out, and it was actually very useful for this because it gave me a lot of leverage to get in close to the staple and pull out the side, so that worked out well. Anyway, one thing I'll have to be careful of as we're pulling this out, and this is what I discovered on the Harley seat, is this plastic. We'll have to see if I end up wanting to preserve it. This is that silk film, I think is what it's called, for cushions. More than likely, I'll end up just replacing it from the roll of silk film that I bought for my stock seat. But we're going to take this off and see what it looks like on the other side. I just discovered that this strap here is actually part of the seat cover. It goes all the way through on the other end. So I'm going to take out those staples so that I can get that all the way off. Okay, got those staples out, was able to pull that flap through, off with the cover. At first glimpse, This looks like the exact same stuff I just put on my stock seat. Now we're going to take off the silk film. Oh, that's on there pretty good. That's going to be interesting because I want to get underneath here and find out what's going on. Why is this thing so firm and stiff if it's got the same gel on it that I have on my stock seat? My initial guess is that it's a different thickness of gel. I put about a 3/4 inch, I think 2 centimeter thick gel pad. I'm wondering if this is not as thick. Not sure if I'll be able to use this silk film after it peels off of here, but anyway, onto the gel pad. What do we got? What is so special about this? This foam is what's very, very stiff and firm. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting like a foam or something first with this kind of stuff underneath it. And this is like almost baked or something into the foam. I'm wondering if it's the foam underneath the gel is the issue. I decided to go ahead and pull the foam off of the seat pan. It's only glued in the front and again in the back. That is it. That is the only place it is glued, so it's fairly easy to pull it off. I'll probably glue it back there, but probably put some glue on a couple of spots on the edges as well, just to make sure it sits properly, since I kind of left a little bit of foam on the seat pan. I'm thinking about doing a 2 centimeter piece, cutting this out, and then doing a 2 centimeter piece as far as thickness, and then also another 1 centimeter, so doing a 3 centimeter, that's basically 2 inches. Putting that in there in a kind of a bigger spot here to see if that does the trick. At this point, I'm getting closer to the point of kind of committing myself to this project and going ahead and cutting the seat apart with the hopes that I don't screw it up and ruin the seat. So I'm going to get that gel ordered probably tomorrow, and I'm going to start cutting apart the seat. I will take pictures for the rest of it and just kind of let you know how it goes. Okay, the gel came in, got that put into place, put the 1 centimeter piece on the bottom, put the 2 centimeter piece on top. Found out that cutting it with scissors is so much easier. I had cut it with a knife on my stock seat when I did that. Cutting it with scissors is a lot easier. I ended up leaving the wrap on both sides. I've got enough stuff holding it in place, so that's fine. Put the material on, hot glued that in place, put the silk film on, hot glued that in place. One of the things that surprises me is that the silk film is just loose when I take the cover off. Like, how good a protection and waterproofing is it actually doing? Is that what it's for? Not, I don't know. But anyway, I hot glued mine in place so that it's nice and tight, secure, and stapled the cover on, and we are ready to roll. All I gotta do is put it on the bike, take it for a ride, which I will do a follow-up on that on a different video. So that is that. Thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned because Harley just released part 1 of their 2026 release, and that video is coming up as well. Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe. These videos take a lot of time to do, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless you all.